so we're back with the van build today. I'm hoping to get a little bit of headway with the van and the building of the bed. So I'm just going to run through a few bits and pieces that I'm actually going to try and attempt to today, and then fingers crossed things are going to go well. We've got a bit of daylight, which is always helpful, and the weather seems to be pretty good. So let's run through what I'm planning to do. The timbers that come across the van, you can see the screws that go up there following the battens, and then in between the battens, if you remember, we actually had these like pocket holes that come out like this. I'm hoping to actually stick the timbers that come across into those pocket holes and then create some sort of horizontal like noggin support to hold that in place and then fix it to the wall. That way it sort of maximises my space in the actual garage area, but also have the structural support of the ply on the wall. Okay, so I just thought I'd quickly run through like the blades of the jigsaw, because I'm going to use a jigsaw because it makes it quite universal to actually cut out these holes. I'm going to drill a hole first and then the jigsaw. So something else to consider as well, whether you've actually come across this, if you notice the teeth on the jigsaw, you've got these teeth here which are angled up, and then you've got these teeth here which are angled down. So these teeth here are for cutting upwards, so when the jigsaw comes down, it actually cuts when it comes back up, and that's really good for if you've got a finished face underneath, whereas this one's the opposite, so it actually cuts when it's going down, so you'd have the finished face on the top. Okay, so I've managed to actually get the timbers in, which is fantastic. So they've gone in really nicely and actually supported nice and strong. For the doubles, I've just literally put a countersink drill bit in there and then actually tied the two bits of timber together with a screw all the way. So I've got 4 in across the doubles. So you can see this one here as well. That's actually screwed in on the opposite side, and then you got one at the back as well, and then you got that single in the middle. Yeah, so that's gone in really nicely. So what I'm actually going to do now is put some noggins in on the side. That'll actually strengthen it and keep it nice and supported, stop it rattling around at all. So then moving on from there, it's be a case of looking at the top and the sides, how the slider's going to work and stuff. But yeah, it's come out really well. We've started looking into the bed design, and what we've come up with is a lot of people have been using these as sliders for mountain bikes, and having like a sort of bottom panel where they chuck the bikes on and then it actually rolls out on an extender. obviously we've got the challenge of having a compact space. What we've decided to do is go for like one of these. So it's a lock-in slider. So basically unlocks by this lever here, and it extends out like so. This particular one holds up to 250 kilos, so it's pretty substantial, and it's more than enough to hold our weight. Okay, so we've gone for 660 millimeters of extension. Basically, this is just going to work out well enough for the van, so we actually get a good enough extension for like a double bed, so 1320 fully extended, and that allows us to have a certain amount at the back of the van, which is that's static, and then the rest of it's going to be sliding. In terms of supporting brackets, decided to go for some sort of steel L section. Really needed. I wanted to save weight and go for like aluminium, but it just didn't seem strong enough. So this is a steel L section. It's 50 millimeters by 50 millimeters, and one of the first jobs we need to do is actually cut them down to size. So these are 1 meter long sections, so we need to cut them down to 660. That's what that line there is for. So we need to actually cut them down to size, and then once they're down to size, we need to drill a load of holes in to line up with these brackets on here. So the bracket holes on here, which is going to take all the weight. Okay, so I've managed to fix up the steel to the actual runners, and this is what they actually look like now. So really cool. I'm loving these. A little bit on the weighty side, but I don't mind that. I want it to be strong and sturdy. What I need to do now is cut the angled steel for the top section. So I'll cut that down to size. I know my bed's going to be like a small double, so it's like 120, so I'm going to allow a bit more just to have just a little bit of grace either side. Okay, so I've just popped in the van and I've popped the side slider up against the side. I put a cheek on the side, so an upstand. This is about 92 mil, because this slider here is about 76 mil. Obviously that needed to be strong in order for obviously with this counterbalance, that it wasn't going to like topple over. So it's a press down, releases it, and then we've got these sort of fixing points in the side. So that's nice and secure. So that's it extended, and I think it works. I actually think it works. Yeah, press down to roll it back, lock it in place, nice and solid. What I've done is just make sure there's an equal distance between this point and the other side, and then squared it off from this point here to this point here, and then put a few fixings in. So that's the slider coming out, unlocking. That retracts back and then locks in place. What I need to do now is start looking at the 4x1 timbers that are going to go on the top here, which are going to create the base of the bed, and yeah, kind of work away with that really. Okay, so one of the next jobs I need to do is look at sanding down and actually creating a bit more of a finished face, because these are all rough sawn timbers. I need to actually sand them down so I can actually paint them, because they're a bit rough and I don't want them catching on the bed.